Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers. Alright, so this matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers is clearly the one to watch tonight. Both teams are on fire right now, but there's something about this game that makes it feel even more electric. The Celtics, sitting at 35-15, have been showing that championship contender mentality again. They've won 3 straight and 4 of their last 5, and with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown playing at an MVP level, they just seem to have all the pieces. Tatum, averaging nearly 27 a game, is the engine that makes this team run, but it's the support cast around him that's been keeping them at the top. You've got guys like Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Derek White stepping up in big moments. When the Celtics are clicking, they're really tough to stop. But let's not forget about Cleveland. These guys are currently sitting with the best record in the NBA at 40-9. They've won 4 straight, and there's a real swagger about them right now. The Cavs are just stacked. Donovan Mitchell has been balling out with 23.7 a game, and Darius Garland is holding it down as the floor general with nearly 22 points and almost 7 assists a night. But what makes Cleveland so dangerous is that they have the perfect balance, offense and defense. Mobley and Allen? Man, they're probably the best front court in the NBA right now, and that defense is legit. They've got the weapons to match up with anyone, especially with that front court wreaking havoc and a backcourt that's not afraid to get in your face. Now, Boston is no slouch on defense either. They're 6th in scoring defense, allowing just 108.5 points a game, and they've been locking up opponents with a field goal defense that's 4th in the league. Tatum is not just a scoring machine, but he's also grabbing almost 9 boards a game, while guys like Porzingis are swatting shots left and right. The Celtics defense is one of the most versatile in the league, and if Cleveland is going to have a shot, they'll need to find ways to break down that defense without letting Boston run wild on the fast break. That's where Cleveland's offense comes in top tier, averaging 122.6 points a game. They shoot lights out from deep, and if they get rolling, it's tough to stop them. Looking at the season so far, these two teams have already matched up twice, and it's clear that the home court has played a big factor. Boston won the first game in Boston, but the Cavs bounced back in the second meeting in December, taking the win on their home turf. It just feels like the home team has the upper hand in this matchup, and with Cleveland being so dominant at home this year, 24-3 straight up, the odds are in their favor. That home court edge is a huge advantage, especially when you factor in how tough it's been for the Celtics to cover the spread. Boston's had some issues there with a 1931 against the spread record, which means if you've been betting on them, you're probably not making money. Cleveland, on the other hand, has been great against the spread, sitting at 33-16 against the spread. They're locked in and playing with confidence. For Cleveland, the key to getting the win will be slowing down Tatum and Brown, making sure they don't get easy looks in transition. If the Celtics get out on the break, it's going to be a long night for Cleveland. But if Cleveland can take away those easy buckets and make Boston shoot from the outside, it'll give them a chance. Rebounding will also be a big factor. Mobley and Allen are going to have to clean up the glass and prevent Boston from getting second-chance opportunities. Honestly, I'm leaning toward Cleveland taking the win here, especially with how they've been playing at home. But I wouldn't be surprised if Boston covers the spread. They're a tough team, and even though they've struggled against the spread, they're still loaded with talent. With the way both teams are playing right now, this one is a real toss-up, but I think the Cavs will edge it out in front of their home crowd.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Dallas Mavericks and Philadelphia 76ers. Man, I've got to tell you, the Mavericks are in a real pickle right now. After pulling off that seismic trade, swapping Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, the whole vibe in Dallas has completely flipped. We all remember that brutal 43-point loss right after the Luka move, and now the squad is trying to find its new groove without the guy who was the heart and soul of their offense. With Anthony Davis sitting out due to nagging issues, the ball has to be run by Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson, and let me tell you, that's a tall order when the Mavericks are still reeling from the shock of letting go of a franchise cornerstone. From where I stand, the new Mavericks look like a team caught between two eras. They're still scoring at a respectable clip, averaging about 115 points per game and spreading the scoring load across 8 players hitting double digits, but defensively, things aren't clicking. They're giving up over 113 points a game and, without Doncic orchestrating the on-ball pressure, their defense is feeling the strain. PJ Washington is stepping up on the boards, and Daniel Gafford's out there trying to protect the rim, but it's clear the squad's trying to figure out how to play without the maestro they once had. Now, flip the script and you've got the Philadelphia 76ers. Sure, their record might not look pretty at 19-29, but the way they're playing lately is something else. Tyrese Maxey is running the show like an all-star, averaging nearly 28 points per game and dishing out 6 assists on average. Philly's offense might have been underwhelming overall, landing just about 35% from deep and struggling in the field at times, but Maxey has been turning heads and lighting it up night after night. And then there's the big trio of Joel Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George, who, when healthy, can wreak havoc on any defense. The big question is whether Embiid and George will be available, given their injury woes. But even if they're a bit rusty coming back, Philly's front court is still a force to be reckoned with. What really gets me is the contrast in the mental makeup of these teams. The Mavericks are coming off a soul-crushing loss and a trade that has fans up in arms, especially those loyal to the old guard with Luka leading the charge. There's a lot of chatter about the fallout, with critics saying that management, especially under Nico Harrison, made some questionable moves that have left the locker room feeling deflated. The Mavericks now have a huge task ahead. They need to reestablish their identity, find some pride, and get back into the playoff conversation. But with a rough stretch of road games looming, 4 in a row, including a tough trip to Boston on February 6th, the pressure is really mounting. On the flip side, Philly seems to be slowly clawing its way back. Their defense has been a bright spot in a season full of ups and downs, ranking decently in points allowed, and they're snapping on steals like it's second nature. Even though their offense hasn't been lighting it up all season, they've managed to close out some big wins, taking down teams like Cleveland, LA, and even keeping things tight against the Celtics. It's like they've accepted that this isn't going to be a championship caliber season, so they're playing with a kind of nothing to lose mentality that's really starting to show on the court. As the Mavericks head into Philly, the challenge is clear. Without the magic of Doncic and with AD benched for now, they're in desperate need of a spark. Kyrie Irving has been shouldering a massive load, but can he really carry the entire team against a gritty Sixers squad that knows how to lock down an opponent? And what about Dallas's defense? With a unit that's hovering in the middle of the league and missing that old defensive intensity, the Mavericks are in for a stern test when it comes time to contain Maxey and his crew. I'm leaning towards Philly on this one. The 76ers might be a bit of an odd duck this season, but their defensive discipline and the sheer force of Maxey's scoring give them a clear edge. They're in a better mental space, and while injuries remain a concern, the bench has stepped up big time. In my view, Philly's got the momentum and the tactical setup to exploit the Mavericks' current state of flux. This game is going to be a proving ground for Dallas, an opportunity for them to show whether they can reinvent themselves after a blockbuster trade, or if they're just going to flounder on a brutal road trip. Bottom line, if the Mavericks can't find a way to regain their defensive identity and build some chemistry in this new era, they're in for a rough ride. Meanwhile, the 76ers, with their gritty defense and explosive scoring from Maxey, look ready to steal the spotlight on the road. I'm betting on Philly to not only come out on top, but also to cover the spread, proving that even when everything seems upside down, a well-oiled machine on the defensive end can make all the difference. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls. Listen, I'm telling you, this Tuesday, February 4th, 2025, is going to be a wild ride as the Heat hit the road to Chicago's United Center to take on a Bulls squad that's been all over the map lately. Miami's riding a decent wave after squeaking past San Antonio 105-103, and they've got Bam anchoring the inside like a brick wall, dishing out that paint domination. Their defense has been holding it down, allowing just over 110 points per game, and they've been firing on all cylinders offensively. With Tyler Herro and Terry Rozier pulling up from way downtown, the Heat's got the offensive firepower to make any defense sweat. I'm expecting Herro to light it up, especially since he's been shaking off a few off nights. Now, the Bulls are in a bit of a mess post-trade deadline. They let go of Zach LaVine, and while they brought in Zach Collins and Trey Jones, it feels like a long-term fix rather than a quick band-aid. Sure, Nikola Vucevic is still putting up numbers near 20 points and 10 boards, and Kobe White has his moments, but Chicago's defense has been leaking points like a busted faucet, especially at home where they've been struggling to pull off wins. Vucevic even showing off some deep-range threes, forcing Miami's Bam out of his comfort zone in the paint, which could open up lanes for Chicago's guards. But honestly, that home court advantage isn't doing them much good these days. I've been watching the Heat ride through the ups and downs of the Butler drama, and I gotta say, they've handled it like champs. Even without Jimmy Butler for stretches, they've kept the ship steady, winning 3 out of 4 recently. When you look at the head-to-head numbers, Miami's been scoring comfortably above the Bulls, and their shooting percentages in those matchups make it clear that they've got the offensive edge. The Bulls, on the other hand, seem to be playing with a lot of question marks, new faces, trade rumors, and an uncertain future under Billy Donovan's watch. From where I stand, Miami's got the experience, the chemistry, and the hustle to control the tempo of the game. I'm expecting Herro to have one of those big games that put defenders on skates, and the Heat's defense should be able to lock down on Chicago's inconsistencies. With the Bulls struggling to find their rhythm at home, only winning 9 out of 16 there, the advantage is really tipping in Miami's favor. At the end of the day, this game isn't just another notch on this season's belt, it's a statement for the Heat. They've got to keep pushing if they want to stay in the playoff hunt, and I'm leaning hard towards them covering the spread and coming out on top. So buckle up, because if the Heat bring their A-game tonight, they're set to shut down the Bulls' mismatched lineup and put on a clinic at the United Center. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Los Angeles Clippers. Man, you know when these LA showdowns come around, the whole city feels the heat, and this one is no different. The Clippers are set to host the Lakers in what might just be one of the wildest matchups of the season. With all the drama swirling around, it's got that extra edge that makes it a can't-miss hoop spectacle. Now, let's talk about that blockbuster trade rumor. The Lakers supposedly pulled off a move for Luka Doncic, and while it sounds like something straight out of a fantasy draft, the deal isn't 100% locked in just yet. Even if it all goes through, Luka's still sidelined with an injury for a few games, so we won't see him rocking the purple and gold right off the bat. But just imagine, if he were on the court, the Lakers would instantly morph into one of the true heavyweights in the West. For now, though, the squad's got to lean on the veteran magic of LeBron and the rest of the crew. I've been watching the Lakers' recent run, and they've been on fire, winning 4 out of their last 5 games. Their offense has been popping off, averaging over 114 points a game, and when they hit that 115-plus mark, they've almost always come away with the win. That said, the absence of both Doncic and, well, Anthony Davis now means that the Lakers have got to rely on their other weapons to fill that gap. It puts extra pressure on LeBron, and you can bet the opposing teams will be gunning to slow him down. When you face a defensive unit that's itching to clamp down, every extra dribble counts. And speaking of defense, the Clippers have been absolutely rock solid on that end. These guys are a nightmare for opposing offenses, limiting teams to just about 107 points per game and forcing turnovers like it's second nature. They've held teams to tough shooting percentages, both from the field and behind the arc. I mean, in their last meeting with the Lakers, they forced LA into a sluggish rhythm, choking off shot attempts and racking up turnovers. That kind of defensive tenacity is something every coach dreams of, and it's exactly what you need when you're trying to stifle a high-octane offense. The Clippers have also been steamrolling it at home, boasting an impressive record that makes you wonder if they even need to try hard sometimes. Their home court advantage is real. They've been knocking teams out of the park and covering the spread with ease. With a lineup that's been clicking and the energy in their arena off the charts, the Clippers look ready to take the game to the Lakers. And let's be real, in a game where every possession counts, controlling the pace and keeping LeBron in check could very well be the difference between a tight contest and a blowout. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting from my perspective. The Lakers have been racking up surprising performances lately, but with Doncic not suiting up and AD no longer in the mix, there's an undeniable cloud hanging over them. Sure, they've managed to put up big numbers recently, but against a squad as disciplined and hungry as the Clippers, those numbers might not be enough. It's like the Lakers are trying to push a rock uphill while the Clippers are set up with a slick, well-oiled machine on defense. I'm leaning hard toward the Clippers in this one. If they can lock down LeBron and force him to turn the ball over or take contested, off-balance shots, we're looking at a game where the Clippers could not only win, but cover the spread comfortably. With the Lakers possibly still reeling from the trade drama and trying to figure out their new identity without key pieces, the Clippers have every reason to exploit that uncertainty and come out swinging. For me, this game is all about momentum and the clash of identities. The Clippers have been a fortress at home, and their defensive prowess is second to none right now. Meanwhile, the Lakers are trying to piece together a new puzzle on the fly, one where their biggest stars might not get the consistent support they're used to. It's going to be a battle of adjustments, with the Clippers looking to slow the pace and suffocate any early runs by LA, and the Lakers trying to spark a comeback with their high-powered offense. At the end of the day, if the Clippers can stick to their game plan and keep the Lakers from finding their rhythm, I'm all in on them not just winning, but doing so with a comfortable margin. In my book, that 6.5 to 7-point spread isn't just a number, it's a reflection of the confidence I have in the Clippers' ability to capitalize on a shaky night from the Lakers. So, get ready for some hard-fought hoops, because when these two squads lock horns, every dribble, every screen, and every hustle play is going to matter. And as always, when it comes to LA basketball, expect nothing less than an epic showdown.